Stoop was popping, man. We back in the building. Live, and stuff happens. You know what I'm saying?
Like
One
they
of our
said,
heroes.
they tried to shut you down, man.
They trying to, yeah, already. Hopefully it's not Jay-Z. That would be bad.
That would be.
I mean, they said Jay was trying to strong arm, you know, that's the reason why he got indicated in the whole lawsuit, because he was trying to strong arm Tony Busby. I don't know, man. I don't know. We're going to get into the timeline and all of that, but what will it do to the industry if Jay-Z is guilty of this crime? Well, first of all, it's a civil suit. So let's start there. It's a civil suit. It could advance into a criminal suit. Right? Oh, yeah, we got some music going on there. That sounded like some sad music. Sounded like some sad music. What we doing?
Yeah, I don't know what that.
I don't know, something going on today.
Yeah. What would it do to the industry if he's found guilty of this civil suit? I want that to be clear. Civil suit. If he's found guilty of this civil suit, what would it do to the industry? Turn it upside down.
Well, you started to say it could start with a civil suit and end up becoming a criminal suit, like, because that's exactly how the Diddy stuff started. It was all civil, but that man's sitting in jail right now. You know what I mean? So
the wildest thing, it's so hard for me to picture Diddy in jail. I mean, he might be enjoying it in jail.
I'm just there's been reports,
that might be his type of party right now. He might be all right.
There's been reports that he's running to jail. There have been reports he's running to jail. That was right before they raided his cell and supposedly found a list of names and a list of people that he was trying to contact or have people contact.
They say he's running it.
That's what they said.
Running it.
No, no joke. I'm not even joking.
I wouldn't be surprised at all because, you know, Diddy's not stupid. Diddy understands he's in a, well, first off, Diddy ain't no little Girl Scout either. Like, Diddy can kind of hold his own with his mentality. He's a bull. Like, you know, he the dancing and all that stuff. You know, don't be caught around Diddy. Diddy will get you. I mean, so, but the other thing is he got enough money now. Will he have access to that money? I don't know, but he telling the inmate something. Yo, I got to where your family live. I got you. Never know.
Inmate something. Yeah, I mean, let me ask you this. What time is it? It's 11:51. Is Diddy the bitch in there?
I don't know. I don't know. Because again, I'm pretty sure his influence and his power is just as prevalent inside as it was outside. It might even be more prevalent inside. I don't know how prison works, but I know money talks.
That's true.
And I know money is a little bit harder to come by inside than it is outside.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's go down a little bit of the timeline, right? So in October, a lawsuit was filed against Diddy, accusing him and an unnamed male celebrity of drugging and raping a 13-year-old girl during a party following the 2000 Video Music Awards. So she was 13 years old. 13 years old in 2000. It's 2024, so she's what, 37 now?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, first of all, how and why are you 13 years old at an after party for the VMAs? How how does that happen?
And we spoke about this when the initial charges came out, and you before Jay-Z's name was, when his name was redacted.
Mm-hmm.
How does a 13-year-old? I mean, I've heard further stories about, like, allegedly the driver. I don't know where he met this girl, but met the girl and said, "Oh, Diddy would like you, or you something of his type, something in that frame." She wanted to go to the award, and the driver said she couldn't go to the award, but she could come to the after party, and was told to meet him at that same location that they met initially. You know what I mean? Who knows where that was? And then from there, he met her there and brought her to the after party. So from the story, the victim didn't even meet Diddy until the after party, but it was all arranged by this driver. Why isn't this driver named in any type of lawsuit or accomplice? Or
Is it illegal for him to tell her where the parties are at? Or to even bring her there? Is it illegal? He doesn't know. He doesn't know if her father gave her permission, her parents gave her permission, if her father or her parents are there. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know how he can be implicated in anything.
I mean, the way lawyers be and attorneys be putting stuff together, I'm pretty sure they could find some type of a accomplice. The fact that she's the minor, the fact that some of his charges are trafficking, you know what I mean? Like,
right?
He's part of the movement from one place to another.
Yeah. I mean, but he would have to know. They would have to prove that he knows, that he knew.
That he knew her age, maybe.
That he knew her age, that he knew what was going on.
It's quoted as saying, Diddy would like you, or you're his type, or whatever the quote was.
Okay.
Well, you know what I mean?
That makes a difference. Yeah, that definitely makes a difference. Yeah. On October 1st, there was a press conference announcing the Diddy lawsuits. Tony Busby gave a press conference back on October 1st where he announced, and this is from yahoo.com, ladies and gentlemen, where he announced that he was getting ready to file 120 civil suits against Diddy for a variety of alleged offenses. Over 24 of the plaintiffs, Busby said, were minors at the time of the alleged incident. And Tony Busby, I said it wrong, the prosecutor. 120 civil lawsuits.
Damn.
That's
a lot.
Yeah. He said 90% of the cases he was filing followed a similar pattern. Victims are lured somewhere, given a drink, spiked with a drug, sexually assaulted, and passed around. As others enjoy the show, this is exactly the pattern that would come up in the lawsuit that mentions Jay. Right. It's just hard for me to picture Jay doing that, I guess. But also, it's the image that Jay puts out, right? He puts out that, like, especially today, the image of Jay and Beyonce is like royalty.
Mm-hmm.
You
know what I'm saying? It's like royalty. So it's hard to picture it for me.
Honestly,
but that's what they want.
His image has always been pretty much clean, squeaky clean. He's always seemed to be calculated in his movements. You know what I mean? Even before Beyonce. You know what I mean? And a lot of people, if you've been up on like conspiracy theories, a lot of people say that Beyonce was a tool in further cleaning up his image and further giving him that pristine
Well,
image.
one of the reasons that it can be believable about Jay-Z is because of, you know, the rumors of when he started to date Beyonce, right? When she was, I don't know, what was it, maybe 16, 17, 18, something, somewhere around something like that, right? You know what I mean? Foxy Brown, Aaliyah, like all of these rumors about Jay-Z and these young women, you know what I mean, have been out there for years. So, you know, it's not like that's a new rumor. You know what I mean? So that would make it believable to some that, oh, well, you know what? This is proof that he did that too. And that's proof that he did this. You know, that's how some people would put it together, I think.
Right.
And it could be why he's now mentioned in the suit. They're like, well, you know what? Look at his history, or look at his alleged history. You know what I'm saying? So, yo, let's throw his name in there too. Well, we know the story as to why his name ended up getting put in there, but I guess we'll finish through the timeline, then we'll get to that. Right? The Breakfast Club had a nice little talk about it, you know, as to why Jay-Z eventually ended up his name being revealed. Yeah. But on October the 14th, the first Busby suits are filed against Diddy. October the 20th, there's a Jane Doe lawsuit. Right? The lawsuit that eventually mentions Jay was first filed in late October. It alleges that Diddy and a male referred to as Celebrity A raped the plaintiff, while a female celebrity identified as Celebrity B watched. You know, hate to hear it.
Yeah, it's kind of
Yeah.
a little wild.
Right.
But so the only thing, I mean, we don't know. We never know anything with these people, but there's just there's one clear difference to me. Once again, don't know Jay-Z, don't know what he gets down with. I assume because of what you said, how his image is portrayed and how it's changed over the years. But at one point he was younger. He was a little wilder. He did, you know, he was a womanizer, did certain things. Don't know to the extent of that. Right. The Foxy Brown thing, you know, that whether she was 15 or 16, still don't know. A lot of people believe that that's the case. There's speculation, but then again, outside of that, we also don't know what happened. Right. But even if it did happen, allegedly, it was consensual, if that's the case. Not that I'm saying, I mean, that's still wrong.
Right. I hear what you're saying.
This lawsuit is alleging that Jay-Z raped a 13-year-old that participated in that, which is not consensual.
Right.
And I don't care. 13, there's no consent.
Either way, consent. But I'm saying like it's different because this is like it's forcibly, it's different. You know, so I don't know about that. I
mean, it's different, but a 13-year-old can't consent, right?
True.
Legally,
True.
By the law,
that's
a 13-year-old can't consent by the law. You know what I mean? Because the law considers them to just not be of sound mind to make that type of decisions about themselves.
Correct.
You know, so at this point, they're saying, well, you know, you're taking advantage of someone who is inept. Right. So then it becomes, you know, statutory rape and blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. You know, so yeah, I hear what you're saying, right? I hear what you're saying about even if it was in their world, you would say, well, she was okay with it, but as far as the law, like she's 13.
Yeah, no, but
Yeah.
that's not. No, I mean, I don't want my argument to be confused. That's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
What
okay,
I'm saying is yeah, gotta be clear on this.
Yeah.
What I'm
They
saying
gonna be, hey,
is,
still Knicks fans said.
still the fans didn't say anything. This is keeping it wrong. So,
Keeping it wrong.
Keeping it wrong. Keeping it wrong. There you go.
what I'm saying is, even the alleged rumors were of Jay-Z having consensual relations with young women, Foxy Brown in particular, was something that was rumored, right? But in this case, we are talking about forcibly raping a minor. Right. I'm only, I'm not saying either.
Making this distinction.
There's a little,
yeah.
That's. I'm just saying, like, for someone to, it's a different mentality too. Like, you got to be, a wild person to do some stuff like that. So I'm just trying to see the distinction.
Yeah, I hear you. On November 18th, there's an extortion suit. The lawsuit was filed against Busby by an anonymous person. Someone we now know was Jay-Z. The law firm representing the then anonymous client was Quinn Emanuel Urquhart and Sullivan, known colloquially as Quinn Emanuel. So now in the Breakfast Club, what was happening here is that Jay Busby had asked Jay to go to mediation, right? And if you go to mediation, you're looking for some type of an agreement somewhere, right? Let's agree on something. I mean,
settlement, if you will.
A settlement, exactly. What else are they going to be agreeing on, right? And Jay was like, "Nah, I'm not doing that." Right? And then here comes the extortion suit, and Busby felt like, oh, he's trying to strong arm us and show us how strong he can be. Okay, well, let's name him in the suit, right? Kind of tick the tat.
And his words was actually that the victim decided to reveal his name because of the strong arm. Busby claims that wasn't his decision, it was his client's decision.
Yeah.
I just want to make that clear.
Yeah, and right. But you know what? That's what all lawyers are going to do. Because the lawyer is working on behalf of the client. So even if the lawyer is like, let's do this and do this and do this, they're working on behalf of the client. So they're going to say the client wants to do this. You know what I mean? So yeah. I mean, was Jay-Z strong-arming or what? You think because there was other things, like there was people coming around and investigating and doing some things like that.
He used the same private investigator that Diddy used. So that also could have triggered Busby. You know what I mean? Like, I just dealt with this guy trying to find out information or trying to strong arm me, if that's the way you feel. Yeah. And here he is again. I think Jay-Z was within his rights, I guess, to go ahead and try to get the plaintiff's name revealed. At the very least, to do his due diligence in his defense of himself, like to know who he's defending himself against. I just don't like the fact that the names are redacted and so it's celebrity A, celebrity B. I don't like that. I don't like the fact that he went and filed his petition anonymously initially. You know what I mean? Even though if it's not an anonymous, now everybody knows you're celebrity A, but I think he knew that was coming out regardless. You know what I mean? At some point.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Do you think it was a mistake to use the same investigator that Diddy used? If it were me, I wouldn't want to. I would be trying to separate myself as much as possible.
Yeah.
Because people start to put it together to say, well, shit. You know, y'all were tight. You get the same type of allegation. Now you use the same investigator. Like,
Yeah, but
he might be the best at what he does, but I also understand you do want to, and Jay's strategic enough to I would think he would want to separate himself as much as possible, but I also think that he might know that certain things he can't separate himself from.
and you know, the other thing is, like, you never know circumstances or how things play out. Maybe the investigator was Jay-Z's investigator. Maybe Diddy was using him because of knowing that he's done work with Jay-Z. Like, and that's Jay-Z's guy.
Makes sense.
Like, you know, you never know.
That makes sense.
That's fair.
Yeah. On December 5th, in early December, Busby decided to get even. Since the person who filed the extortion suit was still anonymous, he did the next best thing. He sued Quinn Emanuel, the firm that brought the extortion suit, for damages of in excess of $25 million. You know, that's you know, Busby claimed in his lawsuit, alongside a company called Lex Intelligence, that they were pursuing a number of dirty tricks in order to dig up dirt on him, harassing his daughter and doing things like that. You know, I don't put it past it.
That's the things money pays for.
Yeah. And then, December 8th, Jay-Z's name is uncovered in the lawsuit as Celebrity A. All right, and then of course, Roc Nation, they deliver a statement, and it was a strong. Did you guys read it? This is Jay-Z's statement, ladies and gentlemen. He said, "My lawyer received a blackmail attempt called a demand letter from a lawyer named Tony Busby. What he had calculated was the nature of these allegations and the public scrutiny would make me want to settle. No, sir. It had the opposite effect. It made me want to expose you for the fraud you are in a very public fashion. So no, I will not give you one red penny. These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree? These alleged victims would deserve real justice if that were the case." This lawyer, who I've done a bit of research on, seems to have a pattern of these types of theatrics. I have no idea how you have come to be such a deplorable human, Mr. Busby, but I promise you, I have seen your kind many times over. I'm more than prepared to deal with your type. You claim to be a Marine. Marines are known for their valor. You have neither honor nor dignity. My only heartbreak is for my family. My wife and I will have to sit our children down, one of whom is at the age where her friends will surely see the press and ask questions about the nature of these claims and explain the cruelty and greed of people. I mourn yet another loss of innocence. Children should not have to endure such at their young age. It is unfair to have to try to understand inexplicable degrees of malice meant to destroy families and human spirit. My heart and support goes out to the true victims in the world who have to watch how their life story is dressed in costume for profitability by this ambulance chaser in a cheap suit. I'll keep my comments to myself on the cheap suit thing. You have made a terrible error in judgment thinking that all celebrities are the same. I'm not from your world. I'm a young man who made it out of the projects of Brooklyn. We don't play these games. We have very strict codes and honor. We protect children. You seem to exploit people for personal gain. Only your network of conspiracy theorists, fake psychics, will believe the idiotic claims you have levied against me. That if not for the seriousness surrounding harm to kids would be laughable. I look forward to showing you just how different I am. So, Ron, this is your guy. Thoughts?
I mean, I'm happy that he came out with a statement that was aggressive, because I think that, I mean, who knows, how do you approach this type of situation? What's the good way? What's the bad way? I know if it was me, I'm coming out immediately saying this is false. I'm ready to fight. I'm going to court. I don't know, whatever we got to do, I'll be here. So that's how I would approach it. And it seems like that's the way in which he's trying to approach it. As I've said before, or I don't know if I said it tonight, but I'm not saying Jay-Z is innocent of many things. He's not a perfect person. He's done a lot of stuff.
Right.
I just don't think he did this.
Yeah.
And if he didn't do it, this is how I would approach it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And that's the first thing I thought when I read it. Right. If I know that I'm not guilty, I didn't do anything, I'm coming out fighting. Right? And I got enough money to pay for the lawyers that I need, the investigators and all of those. I have enough money to do that. I'm coming out fighting. You know what I mean? And I'm going to prove my innocence. You know, I think he's right. They expected him to just say, you know what? You know, I have too much of a reputation. Here, let me pay this money and sweep this under the rug. I think Tony Busby expected he was going to do that. You know what I mean? And Jay said, nah, I'm not doing that. Tony, what's your thoughts on it?
I'm confused, really. Like, after Diddy's statement, because Diddy's initial statement with the initial Cassie allegations, I don't even know if it was known that it was Cassie at the time, but you know what I mean. It was a similar sentiment. You know what I mean. It wasn't as well written. It wasn't as well put together, but it was the same sentiment initially. You know what I mean? And then it wasn't until the video came out that he had to change his tune.
Right.
That's true. I see a lot of people, they speak about his response, his quick response, the wording of his response, and point to that being a sign of his innocence, or I just can't say that because, number one, he's one of the best wordsmiths ever. You know what I mean? So I expect his you know what I mean, his vindication or trying to declare clean his name. I expect that speech to be just as good as his Grammy speech, or just as good, you know what I mean, just as good as, you know what I mean, his bars, if you will. So that doesn't prove anything to me. It's really just about like waiting it out and seeing. I definitely learned that from the Diddy situation. And Diddy, I was less inclined to be like, oh, he didn't do any of this stuff.
Yeah.
Jay, I look at like his track record and he always just seemed to be very calculated, right? So it's hard for me to think that he's gonna do something that heinous. And but on the flip side, as the lawyers, it's hard for them. Like, why, if Diddy really did this, right? This particular crime,
right?
And Jay wasn't the other person involved or whatever. He's not celebrity A. Why would you? Aren't you risking the Diddy part of it if the Jay part is not true? You know what I'm saying? Like, is the whole thing made up? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
It's tough. It's tough to. I'm really on a wait and see.
Yeah, it is tough. It is tough. And you know what? You know, on what you just said about Jay, you know, being smart. If he was gonna do something like this, you know, that's what Jaguar Wright is. You know, that's what she'd be talking about, right?
He's one of the smart ones.
That's what makes it scary, because he's so smart. he's now wild with it. He's smart. He knows how to cover it up. According to Jaguar Wright. You know what I mean? It's hard to say. Now, Jay did demand that the plaintiff be named. Right? She's 37 years old now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think that's fair at her age
Right?
now.
She's 37 years old now, so she's not a minor anymore. She's 37. So on December 9th, Jay filed a motion demanding either that Busby's so far still anonymous plaintiff be named or the case should be dismissed. This comes, and let me bring this on over here. This comes just one day after Busby filed a motion with the court asking that his client be allowed to keep her anonymity. Sometimes it's hard to get those words out. It is not consistent with justice, fairness, or the rules governing federal proceedings for the plaintiff and her counsel to smear defendant's good name in ways that are calculated to feed media coverage and thus inflict maximum public relations damage, while the core fact of plaintiff's identity, revelation of which stands to discredit her entire case, remains wholly hidden from view. Jay's motions read. So basically he's saying it's not fair that she can put all these allegations out there on me and her name not be mentioned and put out there. So if she's proven to be lying, nobody ever knows who she is if she's proven to be wrong or that she's lying or whatever it is. And I get that. I understand that. If stand on what you're saying. If what you're saying is true, guys, put your name on it. You know what I mean?
It's fair.
Yeah.
It's fair.
It's fair.
Especially at this age. If the person if this was real time and the person was a minor, okay,
of course,
that's a little different.
Right.
But this is 20 some odd years later. This person is a grown adult. It makes sense that, because in the end, what she's coming forward with is very damaging. It's very damaging to his livelihood. Even if he's not convicted, it still could be damaging to him, even if it's false.
Right.
So that's one side of it. The flip side of it is if she does finally feel the strength to come forward and say that this did happen and it's true, then you're ready to go all the way anyway.
Yeah.
Not only is this going to be a civil suit. I mean, I don't think it could be criminal, but I don't know. But you're going to get something out of it if it's true and they fine for you. And guess what? It's going to be a lot of money. Take that money and go somewhere else, get away from all the press and all the people, and go back to some type of solace and solitude, hopefully. But there's a lot attached to it. So
yeah,
I think it's kind of fair that it's tough because sometimes abusers, right?
Exactly.
I'm only going by books and stuff like that, and abusers can continue abuse by putting a victim in a position to come forward and put their name out there. It can lend to more abuse.
Right.
But in this case,
victim
it's kind
blaming, the whole
right.
Yeah, victim blaming thing is.
In this case, she is definitely gonna face scrutiny, abuse, social media. People know that name. They're gonna be in her like she's gonna have to adjust. So there's no if, ands, or buts about it. Like, but that's part of going forward with the lawsuit, right? That's something that the lawyer is gonna have to explain. Hey, I'll keep your name out of this as long as I can. At some point, you know what I mean? Your name is gonna have to be revealed. The law, you have to be able to face your accuser, right?
That's what they say.
I mean,
I don't see how you could.
But this is why they're going to fight Jay's motion for her name to be revealed. Because they're going to say she's, she could be, this is Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? She can be in harm's way. That's what they're going to claim. That's what they're going to say, right? This
I
is
agree.
Jay-Z. She can be in harm's way. He's got fans. He's, there's boom,
That's
boom,
a
boom, boom.
fair claim, but you can't. How can you face a ghost, right? How can you prepare for your defense without knowing who your accuser is?
Yeah. No,
It just doesn't make any sense to me.
This whole
And how did Diddy's? I mean, I know he's facing 100 and something different complaints or whatever, but how did he not get this information revealed? You know what I mean? Like, or is that particular case not up yet? And is this jumping over the Diddy portion of it? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. I don't know.
I mean, the other thing too is like, look, there's so many different things that can go on with this. There's so many different variables too. What if Jay wasn't even there? Like, what if he was at the party and she saw Jay?
See,
and mentioned it in her story, and the lawyer was like, "Oh, Jay-Z was there."
Right, and see, that's the question that I have. Right,
but that's more damaging.
Jay had to be somewhere in the vicinity of the party, somewhere around. Had to be there somehow, some way. Right,
as
in order for him to be
evidence, right?
Yeah, in order for him to be mentioned.
Right.
Right, to be celebrity A. Right, he had to be there somewhere. Now he's got to prove I was at the party, but I wasn't part of that. What was going on? I didn't even know what was going on. I'm over here.
I was gonna say you can't say I wasn't part of that because
that
means
you can't say you knew something. You saw it.
We've seen. No, I'm my fault. I was just thinking about something, Tony. We've seen allegedly. I don't know. I remember the whole story, but Tupac went to jail, if I'm not mistaken, because something happened to a young lady in his room.
Yes.
And he didn't even do it. He wasn't there. He left, but something happened when he wasn't there. And so he still went down for it and had to serve time because that young lady came there to see him.
Right. Yeah. She came.
She said he wasn't in the room when that happened.
Right.
She said he wasn't the culprit, if you will.
Right.
He didn't protect me though.
Yeah. He was. She came. She was with him. He left. Did whatever he was doing. Left her there. 2 dudes, however many dudes in the room, and then they raped her. But he went down for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
But in this case, this is apparently a Diddy party. I assume it's a Diddy party, so you can't necessarily say that young lady was there for Jay-Z. So that part of it, that's not an argument.
Right.
But I mean, like I said, you never know. There's just so many things that he could have been at the party, and like I said, the lawyer heard his name. Okay, we're gonna throw Jay-Z in because he's a big person. He's there in that party. His name is gonna give us the attention we need. Because even if we strike out on Jay, this is gonna lead more credence to our case with Diddy, because Diddy won't have the same get out of jail. Like, Diddy can't say he wasn't there.
Why do you think it's celebrity A and celebrity B as opposed to Jay-Z from the beginning and whoever celebrity B is?
Don't know. I guess that's time will tell, because people automatically are assuming that it's Diddy, Jay-Z, and celebrity B is Beyonce. We don't know that. That could be J-Lo for all we know. Who knows?
Celebrity B.
Celebrity B. My only theory behind that is wanting to have these celebrity A, celebrity B as a corroborating witness for them, as opposed to another plaintiff. And then my question behind that is, what if that was with the litigation? Is that the word that they wanted to sit down with Jay? What if that's what that was about, as opposed to asking for money? What if it was for to corroborate?
What do you mean?
Or
What do you mean? Say that again.
what if they wanted to use these people as potential witnesses, as opposed to people that they making the complaint against or filing the charge against? What if they wanted
celebrity A, celebrity B, so they keep their names anonymous? Because I can imagine that's why they would keep their names anonymous, right? We're not going to say anything.
What if that was the litigation, though? Like, what if that's why they wanted to sit with Jay, as opposed to extortion and saying, we won't reveal your name if you give us this amount of money? What if it was all we want is a corroboration?
I
mean, granted, that's not going to help him, because that's still putting you in the scene.
Yeah, right.
But
right, that still puts you there. It still can, tarnish his name. Not only now are people going to say, well, damn, you was part of it, but you knew. You snitched on them too. Right? So, that's going to be part of it. That's going to come into play somewhere. I think it's probably the best thing that he could do right now. Being silent wasn't going to be good. Right?
I don't know if that's true. And again, this is not a parallel that I'm making a comparison of, but that's one of the things that Jay has always been great at as well.
What?
Is being quiet and knowing, the exact time to kind of, like, you can't rush him to come out and speak about anything. Now, granted, this is different. This is life altering. You know what I mean? This is potential criminal down the line. So I get it. But he's always been, again, strategic. You know what I mean? Like, so he's not responding to allegations ever. Now, granted, these is in litigation, I guess, so it's a little bit different.
Yeah,
but
I think that's what I think him always kind of being silent.
That's what makes this so strong.
That's what makes it so strong, right? Because he's usually, like, you hear rappers say this, you hear all kinds of stuff. He don't come out and say nothing about it. He just lets it go and does his thing. You know what I'm saying? And then guess what? It fades away. It goes away.
Or you get a bar in 2 years.
Yeah,
you know what
something
I mean?
Like that.
A bar, though. You
right.
Know what I mean?
So I think that I think him coming out, obviously it's something serious. So you can't sit back on your hands because it's so serious, But I think him coming out and just saying, listen, I didn't do it, and I'm gonna challenge you to prove that I did it.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't even know if I want to say it that way, because that sometimes doesn't make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you say, no, I didn't do it. Show me the proof. Like, what do you mean? If you didn't do it, there is no proof. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so it's like, it's kind of like, he's saying, I didn't do it, and you go ahead and take it to court because I'm going to win. Because I didn't do it.
Part of what he's asking for too is discovery.
Mm-hmm.
So they do have whatever they feel is enough
proof
or evidence.
So they have it. But see, this is the thing. This is why, like, they have enough proof where a preponderance of the evidence can point towards Jay-Z, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? Bam, that's it. You know what I'm saying? We know that it was him. You know what I mean? It's not beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yeah. Speaking of reasonable doubt, right above my head.
Right above your head. I was about to ask you. Yeah.
But anyway.
I was about to ask you. Is that coming down?
Right next to it.
Is that coming down? Or what's going on, Ron? Are you waiting?
I see a baby picture right next to it.
I see that Illmatic right next to it.
I don't know what I'm going to do here, but I'm holding court for now. Like, we'll see what happens. But I will say that I think that Jay had to say something.
Yeah.
I think Jay has been outspoken on different things, social issues and other things, and he has been purposely quiet about Diddy. He hasn't said anything. He's avoided being asked about Diddy, so he doesn't have to give his comments about Diddy, because you know they want to know how he feels about Diddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's been a talking point too.
Yeah.
Right. But when you throw his name in the mix, I think it was smart that he had to do it. Plus, as I said before, that's the Super Bowl thing ain't no little thing, man. The Super Bowl's right around the corner, and, and people are going to put pressure on him to speak. They're going to put pressure on the NFL to cut ties with him because he's not speaking. All these allegations out there, he hasn't said anything, and this is somebody you're backing, you're in business with. He had to say something.
He had to. Yeah. No doubt. And Roger Goodell now, comes out and says, we support the relationship and we're going to remain in the relationship with Jay-Z and so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? J-Tap said, do you need proof to file a civil suit? You don't need anything to file a civil suit. You can file the suit.
You don't even need proof you don't need to prove beyond a reasonable doubt in a civil suit. It just has to be a possibility.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A possibility.
All you have to do is if you want to win. Now, you can file a suit and hope that the celebrity or whoever you're filing against is going to settle because they just don't want their name smeared. But if you're going to actual trial, then you need to have some kind of evidence to prove your point, right? So they must feel that they have enough evidence where it at least points that way. And that's all that they need in a civil suit, right? Because he's not going to go to jail in a civil suit. Diddy's not going to go to jail in a civil suit. No one's going to go to jail in a civil suit, right? A criminal suit sends you to jail. You're just going to have to give up money, right? So all you need is the evidence to look that way, and then the jury to say, yeah, we think this person is guilty. You know what I'm saying? Now, after the civil suit, if there's enough evidence that's revealed, it could turn into a criminal case.
And like look at the OJ thing. He lost the criminal. He won the criminal case and then lost the civil suit. Which is, you know what I mean? Like, so criminal, you need without a reasonable doubt. In the civil, it just has to be a fathom of, possibility.
Yeah.
Civil suits are very tricky and nasty. I'm always in favor of the civil suit after the criminal suit. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like if you lost the criminal suit, now you go after them civilly. It always felt backwards to me, vice versa. And to your point, Sim, not saying this is one of them instances, but it becomes a money grab, a easy case. These lawyers will take a case. I'm not going to charge you anything unless I win.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And let's throw everything out there. Boom, 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 boom. See what sticks. Some people are going to say, oh, he only won 100,000. I got 100 million. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, just take the 100,000 and it's less than I'm going to be paying in the lawyer fees. It's less of a headache I'm going to deal with it in the media. Mm-hmm. I don't got to answer certain questions. So
I just wouldn't be surprised that Busby thinks he's got something, right? He's got a plan.
Yeah.
But Jay-Z also feels very confident. You got to be confident to make a statement like that. Because even, it can backfire on you. You got to be confident to make that statement. Like, we can go to court. I'm ready.
But is the confidence because of the truth, or is the confidence because of the power and the money? Because, like I said, Diddy's initial statement was the same sentiment,
but Jay's delivered his a little differently, and it did it with a little bit more conviction.
He's a writer, and he's having to do this after the Diddy one.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
True,
So
true.
it's like,
That makes sense.
True.
That makes
That's
sense.
a good point. But you know,
That
the
makes
other thing
sense.
that I was thinking too is this. I'm just telling you that, like, I watch too many movies, but there's so many different variables and
I
ways
agree.
to go or could be used. What if, person A and person B are in the room with Diddy? What if person A is not Jay-Z? What if person B is Jay-Z and Jay-Z was watching? But Jay-Z, I didn't do anything. But they know that they bring Jay-Z forward. He can implicate who actually did do something, and he can implicate Diddy in defense of himself.
That's what I was saying.
Right.
That's what I was saying when I said, why they keep them redacted and potentially using them as a corroborator as opposed to
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I think if it were me and I was in the room and I watched it happen, I would now know that I was an accomplice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'd go to mediation. I'm going to mediation. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right, I'm going to mediation. Let's see what's, let's talk about something. You know what I mean? If I'm in a room, because I mean, come on, Jay he got lawyers. They know the law. Right? So if he was in the room watching it, I think he'd go to mediate. I think he would have went to mediation and
unless maybe Jay, like I said, Jay's not perfect, but maybe Jay wasn't doing a lot of this stuff. Maybe B's got a problem. You know, man, Diddy's got the goods on him.
maybe.
Yeah, the beehive is more dangerous than
Oh, my bad, Beehive. Not just a joke. My bad, but you never know. I'm just
home right now. Like, I told you, B. I told you. I told you.
Oh man, you never know. Wild stuff though.
Oh man, you never. Yeah, I mean, you just never know. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? This was when the whole thing started going down with Diddy. It was my biggest fear that some of my favorite artists was going to be implicated. And I'm not gonna lie, I was afraid Nas was gonna be implicated. I was afraid because I listened to some of the songs that Nas got and some of the stuff they be saying. You know what I'm saying? If you listen to Street's Disciple, he got the song where Khalees is like, tell me, girl, you wouldn't do again, and it's called Remember the Times, and he's just like coming these wild stories of things that he did. You know what I'm saying? And
Remember the times. Nothing stood out to me. I gotta go listen now.
Yeah, go listen to it. The whole song is just about
escapades.
I mean, but with adults, consenting women. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, Nas be saying some stuff sometimes. You know what I mean? I was like, damn, I hope Nas wasn't there, but I think Nas just be saying stuff. But I was like, I hope he wasn't in none of this stuff.
All I kept hearing was, I don't like the way P. Diddy did Shine.
With different lawyers. Did you watch the Shine documentary on Hulu?
I didn't.
It's pretty dope.
It's good?
Yeah, it's pretty dope. It's pretty dope. You should check it out. Let's check it out. Yeah, the beginning of it, he does one of the intro to Godfather Buried Alive, I think. I think that's the intro to it, or maybe it's the first album, but he still sounds good. Like he's not gonna rap now, but he sounds like he could get, if he went back to the old Shine voice. Looks like he could get back in the booth and drop an album or something.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen his recent interviews. He does sound like his old voice is back
when he puts the Barack Obama on hold.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, even with that, he basically said, listen, this is who I am. This is where I'm from. When I'm there with my people, that's how I sound. If I'm here with y'all, this is how I sound.
All
right.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Code switching.
Yeah.
That's what people were saying, Do you think it's Jay wouldn't do it, right? But it's so funny that the name of his, Reasonable Doubt, is the name of his debut album. Now I'm in a situation where those words, actually come into play.
Mm-hmm.
How many more album sales or streams does Reasonable Doubt get? If that word starts to get thrown around in this case, right? If that phrase starts to get thrown around in this suit, I guess it would have to be a criminal suit.
If he actually goes to court and it becomes a suit, whatever, and he gets, it turns out that he's innocent or whatever, or he wins.
What's he getting? Not guilty?
Yeah. Not guilty by reasonable doubt.
No, I'm saying not guilty. That was another record with.
I mean, there's enough reasonable doubt.
Yeah,
There's reasonable doubt to say that he's not guilty. Jonathan Coleman said Jay-Z has a history of dealings. Dealings with what? Jonathan, Mr. Coleman. You can call us and talk to us, 516-362-5212 if you want to. Right? Dealings with what? That's what I want to know.
Like a lot of the stuff that, I mean, like I said, once again, these dudes are not perfect.
Right.
Jay-Z, look, and the funny thing about this, guys, we can relate. We've been around for a bit. It's so crazy to me that we've seen a lot of stuff happen like real time with some of these celebrities, and people have forgotten that. Then they want to start, something happens, they want to start digging in the crates and see something like it's for the first time ever.
Right.
Like seeing Jay-Z snuff a girl on the Hard Knock Life tour thing. Like stuff like that. He's not perfect. He's done certain things.
Yeah.
He's also been a womanizer. He's cheated on his wife.
Mm-hmm.
He's cheated on girlfriends, but with consenting adults, supposedly. But that doesn't make him a good person. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, that's still a bad thing. Doesn't make him this, though.
Mm-hmm.
This is something else.
Right.
So I don't know.
Right. Jonathan said with underage women, we know what the rumors are. We know what the rumors are. And I'm sure that's part of the reason why this lawsuit is being brought against them, because of those rumors. And I wouldn't be surprised if when it goes to trial, those things are brought up in trial.
Mm-hmm. It's a nice way to paint the picture of him, because that's something he can't really get out of.
Right.
And it might force him to admit to something. Like, unfortunately, I did do this, but I didn't do that.
Right.
I'll tell you one thing. The West Coast is winning right now.
This is why East Coast rap is dead, man.
Oh, man.
The West Coast, like, they not like us. They not like
Yo,
we
it's
not
crazy,
like them.
Man.
We not like
It's crazy. It's crazy. There's going to be a lot going on over the next few months with this. A lot happening, a lot going on. There's going to be a lot of people.
It's crazy,
I personally don't think he's guilty. Now, do I think he was at the party? Yeah. Personally, I just think, I don't know, with the way that he came out, I feel like he came out strong and confident. You know what I mean? And I believe it. I feel like he was there. I don't know if I'm not saying there while the criminal act was taking place. I feel like he was there, and this is an opportunity to get some money. Do feel like that,
right?
But then I guess my other questions are: what about other celebrities that were there, or is he just one that she saw and remembered because it's Jay-Z? She didn't remember all the other people. Oh, snap, there's Jay-Z right over there. You know what I'm saying? And Jay-Z and Diddy are boys, so he knows what Diddy's doing. Yeah, we can, it could be that.
That's what I was saying. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just gonna let it play out. I'm gonna let it play out and find out. I can't say. I can say I hope he didn't. I can't say I don't think he didn't.
Yeah. I feel you. I hear you. Because you don't know. You never know. Like we done
And
seen
there's a
some
lot of people. Listen,
we done seen
and
some
that's
greats go down.
I was just gonna say we've been, as a culture, we've been brushing some behavior under the rug. Maybe not
No
to the
doubt.
level of this with a 13-year-old, but I mean that Russell Simmons situation came and went. You know what I mean? We talked about it for a couple of days, and he ain't been back in the U.S. You know what I mean? Like,
he's not coming back.
I ain't coming back.
but
Dog.
I'm just saying, like this industry, I can't put anything past anybody at this point. It's been 20 years ago. Like they saying this happened in over 20 years ago.
2000.
So 24 years ago. It's been over 20 years ago where, internet was just booming and all these conspiracies was out there then. You know what I mean? Like not specifically Hove, you know what I mean? But he's been a part of some of them. Like we talked about the alleged past with underage industry women, but it's not just him. You know what I mean? It's really been the industry and you know what I mean, the dark side of it.
Yeah. Do you think the lawyer, maybe we shouldn't even say nothing, by chance, if they roll past something like this and hear it, they'd be like, oh. Do you think the lawyer is going to try to point out his former relationship with R. Kelly?
I mean, they're gonna use anything and everything that they can that the judge allows to be admissible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, why not? And the thing is, you can link the two. You can say he was complicit in knowing the type of dealings that R. Kelly got down with, even to the point where you knew R. Kelly married an underage Aaliyah. And then next thing I know, you've got rumors and speculative, stuff happening that you were trying to date Aaliyah. And then you're seen on a couch with Aaliyah and all this stuff. And then eventually your manager, Dame Dash, starts dating Aaliyah. Like, yeah.
Jay,
it all looks funky.
What was the best of both worlds mean? What does the best of both worlds mean? Huh?
And
Which worlds are you talking about?
When I said not guilty, I was referring to his song with R. Kelly. Because remember, he had just beat a case. Yeah. Was it the uncase?
Yeah.
I forget what case it was, but he just beat a case.
It was the uncase.
Yeah, he stabbed Rivera, but no one said he didn't stab him. He just got off.
Right.
Well, he got probation.
Right.
Yeah.
But he did stab him up. So saying, there's just these dudes is not perfect. It's like, and once again, just saying it for the people out there. Once again, I'm not saying that Jay-Z's perfect. I'm not saying he hasn't done anything, and who knows, something could come out later that he has done. I just don't think he did this.
Right. That's
in particular.
Right. I
hope he didn't.
Me too. I mean, we touched on it a little bit earlier, but and then I guess we can end with this. What does it do to the industry? Because when a year ago we did a show, we were talking about Diddy, and we said, does this open this up for the Me Too movement to really hit hip hop? Right? Diddy and then Jay. I mean, you got to have people out there, rappers, managers, whoever, calling everybody like, hey, mediation? Like, let's talk about this before you do anything. You know what I'm saying? I know what happened in 2006. Like
I can say I don't know what it's gonna do. I hope it opens the floodgates. And when I say that, I hope it's not just black media. You know what I mean? Because I do feel like Epstein, they did a horrible job with that. Who's the other one? Weinstein.
Mm-hmm.
They did a horrible job with that. And and it seems to stop when they get one, and the clear evidence is that there's a huge circle of these people. You know what I mean? So I hope they all go down. You know what I mean? I hope they start telling on each other.
I'm with you on that.
And if it collapses the entertainment business, so be it. Destroy and rebuild, like my man said.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you on that too, Tony. I mean, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. It needs to happen because if this industry, everything we grew up on, thinking and what we thought we knew has been wrong. Like we've been lied to or been deceived. Every part of every industry we've loved, music, film, like everything. It's something in everything. So it might as well all come out now. Let it be burned down and build it back up. And as far as outside, like if we're talking strictly music, the industry's cooked anyway. Like East Coast hip hop is done. Like there ain't nothing coming out of the East. I don't see nothing for the foreseeable future. That is, the music has shifted. It's changed. It's a South thing now. It's just like it is what it is. Yeah. So and it makes sense if they're going to target and go after people. Why not go after Diddy and Jay-Z, people, the big ones at the top who have the money to pay, and really make a statement.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Pick up my knives. Okay. Are you like selling knives? I don't know, but said, bro, they've been on that. That's why Jay and Diddy is crazy, because no one would have thought black dudes would do shit like that. It's an anomaly. An anomaly. I don't know why I get tongue-tied on that word. Actually, I think a lot of people had questions about Diddy. For mad years, people had questions about Diddy. I don't know if people thought he was doing anything underage. But, you know, just other stuff. You know what I mean? Jay, you know, I wouldn't have thought that his name would have been brought up here.
And honestly, the underage stuff, that's been out there too. From I mean, it was just it'd be from Justin Bieber to Usher, you know what I mean? Like all these these guys was kids. Underage kids.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That you know, there's speculation and allegations about. So it's been out there for years.
What is it, Tony? You were asking before we even got on. You were asking like, why does it seem like mad celebrities have these issues with sleeping with underage kids, human trafficking? Like,
I honestly think this is gonna sound crazy, and it's gonna sound conspiracy theory-ish, but I mean, the creation of the music business is mob related, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think it's like a shell company. I think the industry is engulfed in that. I really believe that.
I mean, it is.
It's
the
been
industry,
too many.
It is. I mean, if you watch, there's a show that I watched. I don't remember what it's on, called Hollywood. I think it's called Hollywood. You know, when it goes back to like these people trying to become actors and stuff like that, and it goes into, you know, the show. I mean, it's a real show. It's not a documentary, but you know, it just shows like their sex lives and the sex parties and the you know, I mean, but they, you know, it was all legal, so they do it, you know, do what you want as long as you're not selling people and harming innocent children. Have fun. Right?
Yeah, but just like the Diddy parties, I think there's other parties too. And if you walk in the wrong room, you're gonna see the wrong thing. You know what I mean? And it's very easily to stumble into the
I mean, it just confuses me because there's enough consenting adults right? There's enough consenting adults in the world. If you're Diddy, you can probably go out in the street and grab, I'm not gonna say any woman, but there's many women out there that
that's what he did.
you can go out there and say, hey, okay, how old are you? Boom, boom, check everything. Come on, let's go. You know what I'm saying?
I
But
think
I also think it's, pardon me, Ron. I also think it's the way he allegedly grooms people.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he was groomed. So I think it's a repetitive process.
I can definitely see that.
You know what I'm saying? I think it's an ongoing circle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you it's tough, man.
I
Like
definitely
when you
see
look
that.
at Justin Bieber, and you look at like his changes throughout the years, like that shit is sad, bro.
Yeah.
I've never heard nothing about Chris Brown, but I be thinking the same thing about Chris Brown. You look at him from when he first came in to him now, and you just look at the change. I hope nothing happened to him, but I wouldn't be fucking surprised.
I mean, you wouldn't be surprised about anything, anyone. You know what I mean? It's just so prevalent in our culture. It's crazy, and it's just hard for me to understand it. You know, the human the sex trafficking can be. Diddy goes out and finds someone and says, "Hey, come on," and they're like, "Okay, let's go." And he's like, "I'm gonna give you $1,000." Right? That's gonna be sex trafficking. You know what I mean? You know, so there, you know, you have that part of it, but you know, if you're enslaving someone and forcing them, you know, that's a different story. Human trafficking and sex trafficking, you know, are different, right? But the underage children, man, that's I don't know.
Yeah, that's next level. I don't know, and I think the the problem, you know, even to what you were saying, Sim, is the whole thing going back to Diddy possibly being groomed a certain way. And, you know, when it comes to the industry, from what I've listened to, what people have talked about for many years now, you know, Jamie Foxx threw incredible parties, right? Outside of Jamie Foxx, Diddy threw the best parties. And prior to Diddy, Clive Davis threw the best parties. And Clive Davis basically groomed or mentored Diddy. So all kind of like, and the thing is, like, so, you know, for regular people, we look at these celebrities like, man, you know, the stardom, the fame, the money, the accessibility, the clothes, all this, the fast cars, all this stuff that you're exposed to. And you're like, man, that would be a great thing. What a life. Like, you want to be around it. But when you're in it, you know, not everybody with money is a good person, you know, and sometimes you're not a good person. Not being a good person is when you have that money, like, oh, before money or after money, or helped you get more money because you're not a good person. Right. But the thing about it is people are weird. People got a lot of proclivities. And in order to insatiate and really excite people, you need to provide them with what they're looking for. And sometimes that's the weird stuff that we don't want to talk about, that we shouldn't even be dealing with or seeing. That's what makes these parties very interesting.
And sometimes you done explored every other avenue. So now you like, what else can I do? I've done it all.
I mean, you talk about
you
like
start looking at the
hedonism type stuff. Hedonism type stuff at the parties. Naked young ladies looking like sushi rolls and stuff, like with food on them. Like everything you could think of has been at these parties. So
yeah, it's crazy. You know, LL got a song called Proclivities on his new album. The joint with Q-Tip. I mean, you know, you said the word, I was like, ding ding.
Yeah. All right.
It's actually a dope song. I mean, it's a sex song, but it's a dope song.
LL is necessary.
Yeah, it's a dope song. You know what I mean, Proclivities. Yeah, it's a good song. The album is dope.
I heard it is. I haven't heard it yet, though.
The album is pretty dope. You got to get used to the beats a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because the beats are a little bit different. You know, but it's the best sounding. I haven't heard LL sound as good in mad years.
Wow.
Yeah, LL sounds real good on this album. He sounds like, I mean, the album is dope. And you know, most times on LL albums, you get a song here or there, Illegal Search, you know, a couple of songs here and there that, you know, Power of God, that, you know, are like conscious type of songs and whatnot. But it's a little more throughout this album, sprinkled in here and there throughout this album. But he's still LL though. So yeah, it's a pretty dope album. It's a good piece of work. I like that album a lot. Only song I don't really like is the last song, because there's a bunch of rappers on there that I don't think are good. There's this one dude on there, he's like, you know, I'm the only rookie that can hang with the vets. I'm like, you suck. You can't hang with the vets. What you talk about? But
who was it?
The dude who said that?
Yeah.
I don't even know. But the album is dope though. Yeah, it's a pretty dope album.
Anybody want to predict the next celebrity name to get revealed?
Nah, do it.
There's too many. I think what I find kind of interesting is that I was really worried about Jamie Foxx, to be honest. I think Jamie really, you know, he was the type, he talked about chilling and going to Diddy parties. I know he respected Diddy at one point. I don't know if he respects him now.
Anybody seen his special?
I did not see it yet. I did hear that he mentioned something about Diddy. I do not like the way they're talking it up. The way they talk it up, they make it seem like he's telling you that Diddy had something to do with what happened to him. When you hear a little snippet of what is said, I don't get that at all. Not even, I can't even think that way. So I don't know what they're talking about.
The special, I didn't watch it either, but I seen the clip from the special. I also seen the clip from when he was working the material for the special. When he was working the material, it sounded a lot more real.
Yeah, okay.
Than the clip I seen from the special. But even, I was gonna say this earlier though, even with him, it's so tough to decipher. Like when I was talking about Jay-Z, and I'm like, I know he's a writer, so I don't like. It's hard for me to say, oh, this is so powerful and meaningful, because I know what he's capable of putting when he puts the pen to paper. Same thing with Jamie. Like in this special, he breaks down and he cries a lot while he's talking about what he went through while he was, you know what I mean, dealing with his health issue. But at the same time, I'm like, yo, you're such a great actor. I don't know if this is performative or if this is legitimate, especially I know you ran this bit, this whole, you know what I mean? Like this is a show. So to me, it's showmanship. It's hard for me to decipher how real it is in the moment. I think it's like performative. Not taking anything away from it, because I know he really had a health scare. You know what I mean? I know he really is happy to be performing again. Right. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I know you cried 3 shows in a row. You know what I mean? Like, and this is the big one, like, for your special. Like, so it's probably half real, half. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I believe the sentiments about it are probably real and true, but he knows how to sell. If you remember when he first came out with his first album, he did an NBC special. And on that NBC special, he performed a lot of the songs off the album, and the last song was a song that he dedicated to his grandmother, and he broke down while performing that. You could actually find that performance on YouTube. So he knows how to do what he got to do to get his point across.
Yeah.
And also, the other thing I was going to say real quick is the reason why I was worried about Jamie Foxx as well as other people. I know Tony didn't want to name names, so I'm going to take a page out of his book. You want to find the names, you can look for it. But there was a bunch of male celebrities, singers, performers that used to go to Diddy parties, and apparently that was the swirl session. So no proof to that, but that's what people used to say, because, you know, bunch of men in one room together, like, you know, that's automatically.
I don't care about none of the adults, man. I worry about like what happened with Justin? You know what I mean? Like,
And that's the thing, Tony.
what happened with Usher?
Because that's what I thought. Like, that was the whole taboo thing about a Diddy party. You know, they got wild, they had a good time, but like that's what you thought you might be witnessing, not this other stuff. Like this other stuff, it's the next level.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the criminal stuff, I'm not with that shit. Whatever y'all want to do in your private time as consenting adults,
do that.
Go ahead, just close the door.
Yeah,
lock the door too, so nobody walk in by mistake.
Yeah. No. Well, before we get out of here, gun to your head. You got to choose guilty or not guilty. Gun to your head. You got to choose one. Just based on what we know right now. Ron?
Not guilty. Unless Diddy got tapes.
But wait, am I like the jury? Or I just got to give my... I don't want to be the jury and have to make that answer.
Nah, you're not the jury. It's just you. Just your opinion. Gun to your head. You had to make one.
If I gotta say something, I mean, I'm gonna say not guilty, but I had a gun to my head, so you can't hold me to it if more evidence comes out. you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
gun to my head, I'm saying not guilty. So going not guilty.
And this is more wishful thinking.
Wishful, that's true. Wishful thinking.
Well, it's all wishful. I mean, really, we don't know what's what, but we don't know if anybody really. Only person that went down for any of this type of stuff is R. Kelly, right? Diddy, as much as we saying Diddy's in jail, but nothing's happened. Like Diddy eventually, we'll see what happens with that, but you can hope that it's not true. Yeah. All I'm saying is Jay-Z looks like he's ready for a fight. And Jay-Z, for those who don't believe that he could be innocent of stuff, what if he didn't do this, right? But then that's why he's fighting, because he's saying, listen, this is what you're coming at me with? I didn't do this one.
Yeah.
So if I could fight you in the court, this is going to weaken your case against me for anything else later. So I'll fight this one.
Not guilty, but I think Beyonce got him. Yeah.
Trying to get the beehive on us.
Hey, I'm clipping what Ron said, and I'm clipping the gun to your head part, and then I'm clipping this. Shoot. Oh man. I was gonna say, Jay never had that big major case. Like a lot of, this might be it. This might be that big major case in his career. And then once it's all over, said and done, and if he's found not guilty, expect another album.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The album's coming out.
Like I was saying earlier,
I would expect it.
The sad thing is, guilty, not guilty, it's not going away. It's going to follow him forever. You know what I mean? There's always going to be a percentage of people that, because the allegation came up, that's what he is now from now on.
Yeah, and he's got too many good things in his corner. He's a billionaire with a lot of ties. If he was just a regular rapper that didn't have a lot of money and they went after him and it went away, then you could say, okay, well, his allure and his money and his power didn't get him out of it because he didn't have any of that. But he's always going to get second guessed. You're right about that.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we'll have to stay updated. You know what I mean? We'll have to stay updated, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate you joining us tonight. We're going to head off, but expect us back very, very soon because there's going to be a lot to talk about.
Hey, Sim.
A lot to talk about.
If Nas get accused, I ain't doing the show. I'm letting you know right now. I'm backing up.
You just open up like another 30-minute conversation, man. If Nas gets accused, I'll be hurt. I'll be really hurt. I don't know.
I might not listen to hip hop no more.
I feel you on it. I feel you.
Now, seriously, like, remember? I mean, I remember being a kid, not necessarily my mom, but maybe like the elders, my grandmother and some of my grandmother's friends.
Mhm.
They used to really say rap music was the devil.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And you know, it makes a lot more sense
Man.
I mean,
the older
listen,
I get.
isn't that crazy? If all this stuff's coming out and all of our if all of our hip hop heads has been doing this demonic stuff, we in trouble.
Oh my
It was
God.
right all along. See, Dolores Tucker
pain.
had it right.
It would be painful if they say they mention Nas.
Mm-mm.
And I hate that this
can't
is
do
just
it.
more stuff for Andrew Schultz to talk about.
Yeah.
He got to watch his back.
Yeah.
He needs to chill.
Man, that joint would be painful, real painful. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we out of here. Peace.